Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you the team I'm going to use for this faction assault in Indrajit's palace. As ever, you can pop to the shop first and grab yourself a tier 1 if you like. This is going to give you a potion of enchantment, which means all your troops will start enchanted at the start of each battle for this event. But if you have your horde level in Indrajit's palace on 100 or above, you're going to have one stored, so no need to actually buy one. Unless you're going to do more tiers than this, in which case you are forced to buy them in order, and you have to get tier 1 anyway. Tier 4, there is Indrajit's Claw, a not bad weapon, magic +2 true damage to the last enemy, boosted by red and purple gems, and conjure a Hellstorm. Not too bad. But let's take a look at the team. Really easy team to use and super powerful at the same time. Shield of Erskaya, Tesla, and the Foxfire King. Foxfire King, really handy on this. 50% chance to inflict Fairy Fire on a random enemy when matching red gems. We'll be matching red gems in this battles because the Foxfire King uses red and so does Tesla. So a good chance to inflict that Fairy Fire, which is going to increase the damage that we get from the Foxfire King and our Teslas. In fact, add 50% to that damage, which is going to be huge when the later levels come along. Tesla deals 8 true scatter damage boosted by all ally and enemy armor. Now, that may not sound much, but this is just, she's almost a perfect troop because she's fantastic for new players and experienced players alike. Because experienced players are going to have a big armor count because of their level, and it's going to be super handy for newer players as well because it kind of levels the playing field in a way. And in Delves, where you get these troops like starting off on low level, they're easy on the lower level, and when the enemy gets tougher on those higher levels and their armor goes right up, it completely works against them because Tesla's spell just ends up doing more and more damage. We're going to boost up even further with the Shield of Erskaya. Give an ally magic +1 armor boosted by all enemy attack, then enrage and barrier them. The cool thing about this weapon is if you get the upgrades, you get effectively 2 shields for the price of 1. I'll just show that here. If you look at the upgrades, it has shielding, a barrier myself. Really, really cool. So what this means is when you cast this, you generally, unless you're desperate for the armor yourself, you cast it on somebody else. Somebody else without a shield, because you're going to get a shield anyway, or barrier, and then you put it on someone else who hasn't got a barrier, and you effectively get 2 barriers for the price of 1. Really handy. Do like this in a Geomancer class, and the main reason is we get reduced damage from scars by 50%. All constructs start with 50% armor, which means a nice fast start for the hero. And some nice talents as well, impact or serendipity, whatever you prefer. Anti-magic sphere is cool. Tactician, really handy for boosting up your stats if you're a newer player. Rock solid, gain a barrier when matching brown gems, really nice. We collect it brown for the weapon anyway, and when we do that, we're going to be getting a barrier at the same time. Tree of Knowledge, gain enchant when matching green gems. We collect green for our Foxfire King. When we do that, we'll enchant the hero. And a Fortitude, so a really handy set of traits there at the same time. Banner for this, we'll go for the Meteor Banner from the Sin of Mirage. +2 red, +1 brown, -1 purple. Right, I'll show how this works on the easy levels and then jump forward and show it on the more difficult ones. Let's dive in. So Shield of Erskaya boosts up the armor on your team. You're going to be using Medals of Guard for this. Like the reason you want Medals of Guard is because that gives +8 armor to all allies, and when you do that, this helps Tesla's spell. Particularly useful if you're a newer player. So we're just going to get Tesla charged up, and just bang, she just says, electrifies everyone, just in one go. I wonder if she does it. She's carrying a sword, but I imagine it to be like the Emperor from Star Wars, where she just like goes and sparkles and electric shocks come out of her fingers and just electrifies a whole lot because it is damage to all. Or does she chuck her sword into the floor but like Excalibur doing some major electric shock? I don't know. I'm thinking too much now. Right, so we look for red and blue. We'll take that blue there. Don't actually need to do it, but I'll just show you what I mean about this barrier here. We've got a barrier anyway. Actually, I need to get hit first, so I'm going to leave the AI that skull here, let them do that. Once we lost our barrier, But Shield of Eskire, you cast it, make sure you cast it on somebody else. Effectively 2 barriers for the price of 1, because we get a barrier as part of the upgrades. Really cool. This one, you do damage to all enemies most of the time, unless the enemies are submerged, in which case you then choose the second option, which is deal true damage to the weakest enemy, because they won't dodge that. Like the first, if we have submerged enemies, they're going to avoid this damage, which is what we don't want. But this one, they won't dodge it. So when they're not submerged, you always take the first option. All right, let's pop across. Let's do this. Snaring hunt. All right, grab ourselves some blue. Ready next round. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as you used to say in the playground. Maybe. Right, when you get to this point, if you like, you can go around picking off all the extra rooms to build up the room treasure multiplier. But for the speed of the video, I'm just going to go straight to Indrajit's throne and bang him around the head with a massive electric shock. Grab those red, that's our favoured colour. As I say, as the enemy gets more powerful, if you look for the boost every single time, it's just going up and up and up. Every time we do a new level in this delve, as the enemy gets more powerful, Tesla just gets more powerful. She's ludicrous. Okay, now I'll show how we use exactly the same team on the delve's hardest level. So exactly the same team, nothing's changed at all. Really good when you can do this exact same team from the very first level up to the hardest one. No need for mythics, no need for multiple teams, nothing. This is still an absolute walk in the park. Nice to get the barrier early when you can. Get barrier at the same time there, nice. Leave skull hits for the enemy when they're there, because basically with this, you're going to use, if we've got impact as one of our champion talents, and when they hit you, all they're going to do is take away the barrier, do no damage, and they're going to lose their traits at the same time, which again is pretty useful. So we'll cast this on somebody else that hasn't got a barrier, like that. There you go. And no damage to us. They lost their traits. We've got rock solid barrier again, so we're protected, keeping Tesla's damage high. Again, you can leave that there for the enemy to take. It's not going to do anything at all. Keep Tesla's damage nice and high. Foxfire King is up. Always choose the first one when enemies aren't submerged. If they are submerged, so they're going to avoid that damage, you choose the second option, because otherwise, yeah, like I say, if submerged enemies, if they're all submerged, you're not going to do anything with that first one. So always nice to have that second option. One thing I didn't actually do on this, which I should have done, is, let's just jump back to the medals, because I don't think I changed my medals. No, I didn't. Change these to medals of guard. Plus 8 armor for all troops. This increases Tesla's damage output. Not by much, but how many times have you played one of these games and you've left an enemy on 1 life? And you know, if I'd have only changed that medal, that would have been the difference. So again, we will look for brown early on this, because we want to get our Teslas charged up. Get green at the same time for Foxfire King. Get the barrier going at the same time. Can get mana for the second Tesla ball. It's there like that. Huge wallops. 656 boost. See, as the enemies get harder, Tesla's damage just goes up and up and up. It's like, yeah, and finish off with the Foxfire King. Really easy. And still super powerful even if you're a newer player as well, so really cool. What's the merchant got? What's the merchant got? Ooh! See, I want both of these. Can I do a deal on both? Writs are always good. And Imperial Deeds are good as well. Struth. I want both. Why can't I buy both? Oh, but overall I'll take that. Do like Imperial Deeds. One of the things that's mana blocking your kingdoms later on in the game is going to be the Imperial Deeds. Pretty hard to get hold of, so Generally, I can't resist a deed for 250 gems. But writs are important as well. I'd have liked them. What kind of seller goes around saying, you know, I've got both of these things, what one do you want? Well, I want them both. No. No, you can only have one. What do you mean I can buy that one but not have that one? Yeah. But if I want that one now, you're saying I can't have that one? Yeah. Muppet. He needs to go to seller school, doesn't he? Anyway, what was I doing? Getting this. Right, let's get some stuff for my Tesla. I mean, you can cast this straight away because this isn't actually boosted by ally armor, so you're better off casting your Tesla on the next round when we get our Shield of Eskaya up. So we'll cast this first, get him softened up a little bit. Now we cast our Shield of Eskaya. Tesla's spell is boosted by all ally and enemy armor. Heavy damage. We may as well get that because that aids our damage if we get that Fairy Fire. 50% chance to inflict Fairy Fire on a random enemy when matching red gems. Kind of could do with one more boost because I don't think this is going to wipe them out. 745 is the boost. So let's get another lot. Oh, that was handy. Yeah, we've got the barrier there, so yeah, 746. Oh, see, just as well I've done that because they got a summon at the same time, but they will not survive. Oh, they will. No, they won't. That's what's cool about scatter damage. It's divided up between the remaining troops. When you do damage to all is great. You can initially do some really heavy damage, but if you've got somebody on a low attack or low health rather, then it's just, yeah, it doesn't have as big a effect. Scatter damage is actually that amount of damage divided between those troops. So even if someone's on really low health, the rest of the damage gets compressed onto somebody else. Really cool. I'll grab that extra turn, thank you very much. I'll grab a little bit of extra. Oh, we haven't got barrier yet. This always important to make sure you use your rock solid. Make sure you keep a barrier. Keeping your armor high is what keeps Tesla's damage high. Let's cast this next. The damage to all option. Oh, did they have a barrier then or something? Plus 934 damage, you see. See, I've still only cast my Shield of Eskaya once, but because the enemy is getting harder, or getting more armor, Tesla's just getting more and more annoyed with them. She's like, oi, you lot, you ain't going to win. So you might as well give it up. That's not going to do nothing, so we've got a barrier. Don't really mind taking this now because they're on quite a low amount of health. So we can't get a barrier, it's either hit them or hit me, so might as well hit them. Right, so can we get any other colours? This is, yeah, we've got Tesla, there we go. Still get a decent boost, 909, plenty to wipe them out. And victory is ours. Right, well there it is, there's the team. One team to rule them all, basically, in Indrajit's palace. No need for mythics, no need for other troops, just a couple of Teslas, Foxfire King and the Shield of Eskaya, and you are good to go. You can even go 3 times Tesla if you want, but I do like the option of collecting green for the Foxfire King. You get enchanted on the weapon at the same time, and you have the chance to Fairy Fire the enemy, increasing the damage even further. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to bash that like and subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated when people do. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.